So this question talks about standard form, and we need to be really clear that standard form numbers should always look like a times something to the 10 to the power of something. Now n is always an integer, whole number, positive or negative, and a has to be a number that is greater than 1 or equal to 1, but it has to be less than 10. So we've got to look at this and say, well, we want the number to start with something between 1 and 10. We've got 3 and 7. So that makes sense to be 3.7. That means we must have moved this up so many places to get the decimal point to be between the 3 and the 7. So we've moved it up 1, 2, 3, 4 places. But it's a decimal below 1, so we've done a negative movement. In other words, it's gone down 4 places to get to between the 3 and the 7. So it's a negative movement. So it'll be 3.7 times 10 to the power of negative 4. 8.25 times 10 to the power of 3 is an ordinary number. Lots of ways of thinking about this. The 10 to the power of 3, well, the 3 tells me that this moves up 3 places. So 8 was in the units column. If it moves up 3 places, then it goes into the thousands column. So all of these digits will follow that. 8250. Another way of thinking about that is 10 to the power of 3 is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. So I could think of it as 8.25 times 1,000. Well, 8 times 1,000 is 8,000, so it should be 8,250. Now this question says we've got to work out this, but write the answer in standard form. Now it's a calculator paper, so you really ought to use the calculator keys. Now on most calculators you've either got an EXP key, which is the standard form times 10 to the power of key, or you've got a key down the bottom here which actually has on it times 10 to the power of x. So either of those two keys could be used to work with standard form. So it's saying 2.1 times 10 to the power of. So pressing the EXP key has already put the times 10 bit in. All I've got to do is tell it the power I want to deal with. Well, the question says power 8, and then I'm timesing by 6 times 10 to the power of negative 5. So on this calculator it's 5 and then the plus or minus key to put the negative 5 in. We press equals and we get an answer of 12,600. But then we realise and we check that the question wants the answer in standard form. So again, the standard form answer must start with a number between 1 and 10, less than 10 of course, so that's going to be 1.26. Now to make that to happen, the decimal point started there, so to move this it had to go 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So the answer will be times 10 to the power of 4. So 1.26 times 10 to the power of 4. So standard form, just be careful that you realise the front part of standard form number has to be between 1 and 10, but less than 10. So 1 point something, 2 point something, 3 point something, and so forth. And if you've got numbers that are really small, then it's going to be a negative power. So 0 point something is going to be negative power. And if you've got numbers bigger than 1, then it's going to be positive powers. So that's one way of thinking about standard form.